So I got these new lights and I got a Google Home and it's the coolest thing ever. Check this out. Hey Google, set office lights to blue.
Sure, changing 2 lights to blue.
Hey Google, set office lights to magenta.
Sure, changing 2 lights to magenta.
Hey Google, tell me a dad joke.
Where do typists go for a drink? The space bar.
Hey kids, Adam here. Today is another one of these short, medium length videos. I want to go through and show you how to make your drums sound giant and huge. Think of like the old 70s, When the Levee Breaks, Led Zeppelin drums. So I won't bother you with too much talking. Let's head right over to Reaper and I'll show you how I do this. All right, we're over here in Reaper. This is my band Underground Hive song, Under the Moonlight. Let me play just a little bit of the song for you before I get talking. You can hear what it sounds like here. And then let me just play the drums. They're huge. The bass drum is huge. It almost has too much reverb on it. I wanted that sound like the kick drum is sitting at the bottom of a mountain. It's like, imagine like a 40-foot bass drum sitting at this bottom of the mountain. You hit it and it like booms and echoes all through the thing. And I accomplished most of that with the room mic. So if I play just the room mic alone, check this out. It sounds like you can hear the echo, or like you're walking down the street and the club like 2 blocks down the road is playing music and it's echoing off all the buildings and things. Let me show you how I got this sound. All right, so my strategy here, like I said, I want to use the room mic as a reverb mic. So when we had our drums set up, we had our typical, snare, kick, toms, overheads, and we had one channel left over on the board. And I said, let's put a room mic in. Doesn't even really matter where we have. We just stuck a mic right in the middle of the room, mono mic, one channel. And I said, I want to try using this as a reverb source. If it doesn't work, we throw it away. But if it works like I think it did here, I think it'll sound really good. So my strategy is just to put a ton of reverb, ton of compression, ton of saturation on it. The problem with doing that is that the highs can wash out on you. So I'll show you a couple ways to get around that. First thing I want to do is I want to hit it with a series of preamps, analog preamps. The first one I hit it with is a 73, Scheps 73, which is the 1073 emulator. I put the preamp up a little, no EQ, no high pass filters or anything, and then I just take the input and I put it all the way up. And if you listen to it before and after here, not really a lot, but it's going to help set it up for those next channels. Next one I do is Kramer HLS. I do the same thing, except for this one, I crank the preamp and I crank the input. I don't volume match the output like I normally would, like in the analog goodness video, which I'll leave a link up here for. Instead, I want to kind of smash this thing. So before and after on this. And you'll see that meter is pegging out and it's starting to get a little nasty sounding. The real nastiness comes with one of my favorite plugins, Kramer Tape, and I just obliterate it right here, as you can hear, before and after. And that is overkill. That is way too much. You would never put that in a regular mix. Or would you? I would. Next thing, I did the 1176. I left it at the absolute defaults when it opened up, and I just cranked the input gain. And before and after on this one. And you'll notice I'm getting over 10 dB of gain reduction. I also did this all buttons. In the old analog actual like physical 1176s, you could mash all 4 buttons in and it would get this crazy compression sound, and people love to use it on like mixed buses and parallel compression and things like that. Here I'm using it to squash the hell out of this room mic. The problem with it, as you notice, is now the cymbals are starting to get out of control. So ReEQ here, I put a high pass at 70 hertz, I put a low pass all the way down at 2.5K, and that's going to take all those frequencies above 2.5K and just kill them. And then in here, there was a weird frequency around 250 hertz, so I just notched that out. So I'll do before and after on this one. And that really took away a lot of the highs. And from here, I could probably put a reverb on, but there's still a lot of highs there. And one trick you can use to get rid of a lot of highs and a lot of that, especially the harsh highs, is to use saturation. This Abbey Saturator is an awesome plugin. So before and after on the saturator, you'll see how it completely kills the highs, and now it sounds like, you know, there's that club down the road that we're coming up to and we can hear the music. And just blending that into a drum mix would probably sound pretty cool because it's emphasizing those lows. It's almost like another parallel compression track, which I already have one of, but it really kind of brings out that body of everything. But the best thing to do here is hit it with some reverb. Now, I have a reverb channel. I call it reverb long in my setup. It's just a Waves TrueVerb here with the cathedral preset. And I left all the defaults the same. And then the thing with reverbs is you want to tame out. You don't want to make reverbs muddy or bright unless you're actually aiming for that. So what I did is I just put Renaissance EQ with a 2-band. I put a high pass filter at 320 hertz and a low pass filter at 6.2K. And that takes the muddiness out of the low end and it takes some of the harshness out of the high end. So I'm just getting like the actual reverb. And this is a stereo reverb. So now I'm taking a mono track and I'm opening it wide up with this stereo reverb. So before and after the reverb. And if you're listening on headphones or good studio monitors, you can really hear that open up and really hear that echo. And so next step, I listen to the drum set. I take the fader and I put it all the way down. I listen to the drum set and slowly bring it up. Similar to how you would do a parallel compression. For most songs, what you would do is you would bring it up to the point where you're just starting to hear it, and then you mute it and make sure it goes away, make sure you notice it and bring it in, and then make sure it doesn't add too much because you don't want to kill this. For this song, I wanted to add more, though. I did want to have that extra, I keep using the word cavernous, but that's really a good sound for it. The echoey mountain valley cavernous echo. So I'm going to put it up a little more than I would normally, but I'll show you what that sounds like, and then I'll do some befores and afters. So here's just the kit with no room mic at all, and then I'll bring it up slowly. Right about here is probably good for a normal song, and I'll mute it a couple times so you can hear. But I want more. I want more out of this. So I actually ended up at just about -5 dB of gain on this. And then I'll play it with the band, and I'll mute it and turn it off a couple times. Yeah, it just opens everything up. It makes it wider, it makes it fuller, it makes the kicks deeper, it makes the snares snap a little bit more. It just, it brings out this big giant drum sound. I really like using this. I'm using it on every one of my mixes now. Maybe not as extreme as this song, but I wanted to use this song as an example because it is so extreme. But yeah, if you have an extra channel, which I know a lot of people don't, but if you do have an extra channel, throw just a regular mic. This was just a regular, like, large diaphragm condenser mic we threw in the middle of the room, and this is what we got out of it. All right, so if you like this video, please leave me a comment, share the video, subscribe, hit the little bell thing. I'm gonna watch a call it jigger. If you want to support me financially, click the link down below to buy me a Coke. And if you have any ideas for the kind of this shorter video, one topic in a video thing, leave me some comments below and I'll see what I can do about bringing some of these up in some of these future videos. Until next time, have a great week. I need a new word for that. I don't know what to call that thing. It's a bell, but it's a little thing.